Sunrise over South Ockenden.
We're just waiting for that glorious C2C to just stop.
I'm just going to fucking say it. We had a brilliant joke about that was very dedicated to Essex a moment ago. Slating a town in...
Hey, we can't give it a town recognition.
Yeah.
It's a collective shithole.
Yeah. But we're not going to name it now because it's just labouring the point. But it was very, very funny. You have to take our word for it. But we fucked up. So this is The Last Man on Earth. It's based on Richard Matheson's novel I Am Legend, which you might know from Denzel Washington's film, which was released in 2009, I think.
And he was amazing in Independence Day. I thought he was fantastic in The Green Mile.
Yeah. And Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
Pretty good.
And he's soon to be in the Nelson Mandela film.
Did he put on weight for The Green Mile? Did he bulk up for that one?
There's no way I can tell him from one film to another. I did enjoy him in Rush Hour, though.
The church got it right all along.
The end has finally come.
Oh, it's just someone lying in the front garden.
I'd like to point out this is a full year after Sword in the Stone, which was in complete colour. And yet we're still rocking the black and white here.
Is that a benchmark for colour?
That is the benchmark. If the Sword in the Stone can do it, and Disney, they didn't have much of a budget.
No.
But these guys...
Struggling company during the 60s.
Didn't they have Hitler's head in there? Or was that Walt? No, Walt Disney's head, right? Or was he alive back then?
I can't tell with him.
You know what?
I didn't think he was real. I thought he was a myth.
It's got to the point now where I don't actually know if Walt Disney's head is frozen or not. Is it just an ongoing joke that it is?
Why would they freeze just his head?
Don't know. Maybe his penis was too big.
If you're going to create a character like Mickey Mouse, you'd have to have a pretty big penis.
Yeah. Especially if you've done the voice for it.
Yeah.
Because that is some gruff shit right there.
December 1965.
Oh, I recognise this voice.
And all it has been since I inherited the world. Only 3 years. It seems like 100 million.
That's quite a nice little monologue, actually. I wish I could have something to mock that for, but that was done really well.
All I was thinking is it looks like an incredibly complicated game of noughts and crosses that he's losing to himself.
Surely it would be easier to actually create a calendar rather than draw it on the wall as well.
As you can see by the credits, this was filmed in Italy, in Rome.
Where,
which is why everyone sounds like a Lothario of some sort.
From the novel I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Just to remind you. Garlic.
Yeah.
Better smell that, just make sure it's still garlic.
He's an enthusiastic cook is Vincent Price.
Yeah. Sidney Southco. He done an awful lot after this one.
Yeah.
Probably an advert or something for Nissan. I don't know. Nissan's Italian, right?
Nissan went in the 60s, were they?
I don't know. Were cars around in the 60s? I've got a really
it's
skewered...
Clark,
okay, cool. Got a very skewered understanding of history.
I was saying that looks suspiciously like a car on the right hand of the screen.
No, man, no. It's camouflage. That's what they want you to believe.
Right.
This takes place in the future.
Oh, I see. But why did he write 1967?
Well, that's the future.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't know what the time is now from their point of view. And that's the important thing here. Also, I'd like to know where he gets that, I assume, gasoline from.
Well, it's quite easy to produce petrol. You just collect it in the cup when it runs. That was a fucking loud grate.
Yeah. I get the feeling this is going to be a film with very little dialogue.
It's alright, we've got us two cunts talking over it. We can't butcher it like we did the last film. He's quite good at acting downtrodden. Oh.
An empty, dead, silent world.
When dead on your doorstep is mundane.
How Jade for the pit? Like bum
They
fights.
live on the weak ones and leave them for the pit.
Oh. Still garlic, yeah. You know what's always depressing, no matter what? An unshielded light bulb. Just put a lamp on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and another one.
2. No wonder he's...
Three. Fuck.
No wonder he's
What's
depressed.
he doing? Just put some lamps up.
He's wandering around thinking, I wish I had a fucking lampshade.
Yeah, it'll be more homely. Everyone will be happier. And is that... we meant to believe that's his kettle, or is that a thermos?
I don't know, it's going to put on some XFM.
KOKW calling. Come in.
Bringing in the smooth jazz.
This one's going out to all the dead ladies out there.
This is All Talk Radio. If you want to call in, please
That
call
noise
in.
is really getting on my wick.
Yeah, he turned it off. Even him, the last man on Earth, was bored of that noise.
KOKW calling. I'm on international frequency. Come in.
I don't know an awful lot about radio, but I'm guessing that only one channel can talk out. It's not like it's a CB, right? If you're recording out, no one else can record out on that channel as
But
well.
that might be a CB.
It could well be a CB, but it's not in a truck, and that's where CB
I'm not sure
is.
what CB is.
I believe it's made by Cecil Bryner,
Right.
hence the acronym CB.
I'll know if Cecil Bryan is.
Cecil Bryner's a good lad. I've
Yeah.
got a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
He done an awful lot for the
They can't bear to see
inter-car
the
communications
It repels
uprising that took place in the
any
mid-80s.
nervous. And this garlic's lost its punch.
Fucking loves garlic, doesn't he?
He said he's lost his punch, which, you know, he's well pissed about that.
I'm getting depressed just watching this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just wandering around.
There was a time
Again
when
with the
eating was
non-lamps.
pleasurable. Now it bores me. Just fuel for survival. I'll settle for coffee and orange juice this morning.
Settle.
First, there's my
He is
life
really
insurance.
slumming it up right now.
I'd
Hello.
better replace that garlic.
You're the last man on Earth, and you've got a selection of orange juice and coffee. That's more than I've got.
Yeah. Whiskey and
Yeah.
Pepsi Max, not even fucking Coke.
No, Pepsi Max, no
here.
sugar.
No fucking sugar.
And maximum taste is a lie.
Yeah,
Better stop
empty
walking.
calories right here. I just like to put this out here. 250ml serving contains less than 1 calorie. Think about that.
It takes you more calories to drink it. than
It does. You work off what you're drinking. So if you survive just on Pepsi Max, you'd lose weight.
You die eventually.
Well, you wouldn't, because you've got that 1 calorie that's just keeping you ticking, right? And then there's
Can't
just
afford
the...
luxury of anger.
Oh, no
Anger
sugar.
makes me vulnerable. It can destroy my reason, and reason's the only advantage I have over them. I've got to find where they hide during the day.
Wait, did he say he can't afford the luxury of anger?
Also,
Where did I
them.
finish off yesterday?
And he can't let them
Madison
win him
Street,
over.
231st
Subtle
Avenue.
racism, even back in 1964. And you'd think they'd be beyond that by now.
Yeah.
Or 3
Racism's pretty recent, I think.
Yeah.
It started with
And
Hitler.
there's
Yeah.
more than half the city I haven't searched.
If it wasn't for people like Hitler who were trying to stamp out racism, admittedly,
He's just grinding his carrot.
is this a daily activity for him? Was this initially just a really large piece of... Was this a tree at some point and he's just whittling it down?
He's just upset it isn't a piece of garlic. Fuck you.
Flesh parts of their body seal can't.
It's a really large turnip that's now much more acceptable for stoves.
They want my blood. If their lives are mine, I
Right.
still get squeamish.
Steaks, garlic, blood. I'm getting a slight vampire theme from this one.
This may well do it.
And a hammer.
Yeah. And crosses on the door, look at that.
Garlic.
Wait, that
Put
garlic.
it back where it belongs.
So what did the two cunts in his front garden die
Away
of then?
from hell
Just
and forget it.
garlic-related illnesses, I guess.
Remember kids, if you eat too much garlic,
Oh,
you could
she
die
now
of
weighs-
Vincent Price. She weighs nothing.
Yeah. He could proper throw her around later. Yeah, saw her.
Oh, now she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Oh,
Straight in
look
the
at
boot.
that. Look at that.
It's a hefty boot.
A cheeky arm slid right up that skirt.
Yeah, he's going to get the same treatment, don't you worry.
His legs are bending at a really uncomfortable
If you
rate.
were the last person alive, right, and you had a female corpse and a male corpse, would you treat them like Barbie dolls? Just put them in positions and dress them up and shit.
I also like the fact that the last person on Earth is driving a hearse. That right there is some forethought.
Gas. That means one more stop I'll have to make.
It's not going his way, really.
First world problems.
The garlic's lost its potency.
There's nothing that chaps my ass more than my garlic losing potency.
Only the other day,
Really?
your rant about garlic and potency.
I don't want to bring it up again, man. I was fuming.
I can get rid of them later. Right now, I'm out of gas.
I think he's hinting that he's out of gas, maybe.
Yeah. Luckily, there appears to be a petrol tanker
Yeah.
conveniently in the middle of the road,
Caltex,
Hmm.
a brand we all know and love.
which he hasn't drained dry in the 3 years he's been driving up and down this highway.
Well, that's the good thing about Hearses. They are low mileage. I mean, I speak to an awful lot of people who drive Hearses.
Yeah.
Um,
It's part of your little fetch club.
it is. It is. Where's that then? That's why he's out of gas. See the amount of bloody smoke that thing's chucking out?
Oh, I guess
Ah.
there's bad things in there.
Oh, is this the burning pit? Where he chucks the
Oh,
bodies?
okay. So he's got a burning pit for the bodies that just appear in his front door. Must be awfully inconvenient as their fucking corpses arrive.
Or very convenient if you like a barbecue.
It's like the world's worst paperboy. Just cycling around dropping bodies in your room.
And I don't want to be that guy, but you got to wonder what this is doing for the atmosphere, right? The ozone can't be dealing with all the
True.
bodies.
But then if you're the last man on Earth, I reckon global warming's probably the least of your worries.
Yeah. Although, if petrols are concerned, I'm a little bit confused.
There must be a more cost-effective way to burn bodies.
Yeah.
There's what that petrol guns, mate. You're walking.
Surely. Oh.
Goodness me.
Right, so what did we learn today? Vampires explode when you throw petrol and flame over them. Which I'm sure is no different from children,
From
babies.
child?
From child.
Child.
This
Yeah.
is 4 drinks in, by the way, people.
Please don't burn children. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, we would like to remind you that burning children is a very silly thing to do.
Yeah.
Although very good for stress levels,
True.
as very few of them can fight back, or will. Here we go, Asda. I'll tell you what, there's quite a good stockage here for 3 years. How much of that do you reckon's mouldy?
What I'm thinking is, if those shelves are still so well stocked and reasonably neat, considering no one's been there for 3 years, did the rest of the human population just immediately die? Because none of it got sacked, none of it got looted by other people who died later on. It's just everyone was fucked immediately, except for Vincent Price.
See, if this was a zombie film, I'd be led to believe that they'd still be working there, as that's what the average Asda worker looks like, right? A dead, lifeless husk, getting on with its mediocre life, day in, day
Dreams
out.
unfulfilled.
Sadly, dreams fulfilled. I think that might be the height of what they aim for.
That's, what, 3 years?
3 years.
Fuck off.
That is some nice cured ham right there. Even the Jews would be well pleased with that.
It's still fresh.
If you noticed a cut in that,
But I'll tell you what I need.
That was a very anti-Semitic remark. Of course, where do you keep garlic? With the pig carcass.
just not even on a plant. It's just building up in the back of Asda, as garlic is wont to do.
The garlic god shone good on him today. His dance fulfilled the prophecy.
That's what a French tooth fairy does. Just replaces your teeth with cloves of
Garlics.
garlic. Garlics isn't a plural.
Garlic.
Garlic is the plural of garlic.
garlic high.
You're thinking of peanut.
Oh, Peni and asparagus.
They can wait too. I've got
They can wait
That was
too.
right
How
in
are
the
you going
middle.
to drive past that brick?
Mirrors have to be replaced before dark.
I thought it said scalpel. It'd be a terrible name for it. Oh, I thought it was a barber's. Turns out to be an antique shop. I think. I don't know. I thought all 1960 shops were like barbers, speakeasies, And record shops.
Yeah. Also, if you look at 1960s mirrors, none of them are square. They're all those fancy little designs.
Yeah.
And back then, do you think they were called antiques as now?
No.
Because if you go to an antiques fair, you look for something from the 1960s.
Yeah.
I have to keep up this search.
That's just pretentious, to be honest.
That is. Also, surely that was doing better as a window rather than. Oh, okay, it's not his house. Okay.
You didn't even open that door. Don't bring him into it.
Just fucking pull it. If it opens then.
Oh dear. Vincent, don't do it. Oh, that was PG.
Yeah. The bit they cut out there was the 13-minute rape scene.
Yeah, which inspired the tree scene from
Evil Dead.
one of Sam Raimi's first films. So he is just murdering people in their bed.
The tree metaphor
And then burning them.
his massive penis, which you can see.
I'm glad we've got a protagonist we can root for in this film.
There we go. Those people were asleep, minding their own business, when he decided
Yeah.
to break into their houses.
And then woke up, and the last thing they saw was Vincent Price approaching them with a stake, a hammer,
and his pants down.
smelling of petrol, and his pants down. Apparently. Hold on, he can't fuck all them corpses.
I haven't much time left.
I don't appreciate you putting limits on Vincent Price's fidelity.
Don't know, man. If you had a nice, attractive, living woman, the amount he's going through per day, you'd just be exhausted.
I think this is non-living. I think that's the concern here, isn't it? Or is he the big
Oh,
one?
what? That spruces him up, does it?
Yeah.
The fact that they're
Yeah.
well, no, they're vampires. They're undead. They're not even dead.
Okay.
Like, fucking give the garlic a rest, mate.
Yeah.
No, he's not even gonna eat it.
Yeah. I swear he's got to have some bread, some butter. You can make a decent little garlic bread.
Yeah.
And that way, worst case scenario, you try and snog a vampire.
Exactly.
They'll burst into blue flames.
And all that meat hanging up in Asda's, you know, cut a few ribs off, throw some garlic on it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And you could heat it under the bare fucking light bulb.
Both of them.
And now, 12 long hours before the sun will rise and drive them back to darkness.
Why don't you sleep, mate?
Yeah.
That's what most people do during the darkness.
I'm wondering if playing loud music is probably not the best way of being stealthy.
I hope it's poisoned the well.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
pitting.
he
He's
is pitting.
Check that out.
That's the
Sick
NY.
moves.
Yeah, he's about to do the old pick up the coins routine, I reckon.
Yeah, they're opening this shit up now.
Yeah. Do you reckon this is like a precursor for Monty Python's with the silly laugh track, the silly music going behind the beating scene?
Morgan, come out.
As fortifications go, doesn't look great.
That's really poor.
Yeah.
I do like the throwing a bottle at him. Oh, that cheeky grin. He's liking this.
Yeah.
Morgan, come out.
Morgan, so his name is, right?
I believe his full name is Robert Morgan.
Ah, Robert Morgan. Ah, Doctor Robert Morgan. I'd like to know what his doctrine is in. Vampires?
I'm gonna go with.
It's vampires or garlic, surely.
Can you get a doctorate in garlic?
Well, he did. Look at him.
Yeah. That's probably the worst music you can play while being attacked by vampires.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being very kind of defensive. You'd want to play something fast and heavy, just so you can get into
Yeah.
the bout of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Slayer were going in the 60s. weren't
Oh, yeah. There appears to be some kind of retardy downy screaming.
they?
Are you going to cut that? I need to
don't
know.
use Downey.
So is that where we're drawing the line?
Another day to start all over
You
again.
can say retard, but you can't say Downey.
Okay, I can never remember what they like to be called these days.
The more we go on about this, the longer this cut's going to be. I never knew I was going to be the straight man in this relationship. Surprising, that's what your mum said.
So as our second movie goes,
Hmm.
this is 20 minutes in, and I already have a much better understanding of what's going on in the plot.
What than fucking Dementia 13?
Dementia
Well,
13.
to be honest, there's one character,
And
and
Robert?
yeah, it's difficult to lose track of what's going on.
Yeah.
There's some vampires he doesn't like, who he kills during the day, and during the night they come and vandalise his property.
Yeah.
And then apparently some of them just die. So
Just on the floor for
Yeah.
no real reason. I'd like to understand why he doesn't just simply reclaim the spikes back.
maybe
Rather-
it's one of those vampires where the spike has to remain in there for it to do its
Ah, I
job.
see.
Oh, not
Is
in
it-
the mood for it today.
Nah. This is not a day for whittling.
That hearse isn't as big as it was yesterday.
No, and surely just close the back. Wouldn't that like be more fuel efficient? I'm not fantastic.
I don't know what any aerodynamics of that.
No. But generally, they reckon, you know, winding your window down's as bad as putting the aircon on.
Right.
So there's some kind of relative drag factor there.
Now what are you doing, Robert?
Or is this the bit where we kind of relate to the character and we show a kind of maybe a family member or a friend that's passed on?
I think
Or
it'd
is
be
he-
good to get some context of Robert's plight.
Yeah. Or are we just going to
Yeah.
witness him murder someone else?
I want to point out quickly, look, for 1964, I think the location use for this film is very good. It looks like a deserted city.
I'm impressed with the cinematography, actually. I'm impressed with, compared to, you know, Dementia 13,
Which
I'm
was
impressed
just
with,
black.
yeah, I'm impressed with the colour scale. What we've got here is different colours rather than black on black on black.
Yeah, there's white and grey
Yeah.
and
I'd also like to be, oh, is this plot?
God, how I miss you.
I think it's his dog.
This is really oddly dubbed, so I'm hearing kind of inner monologue over the top of spoken dialogue, right? Is that what he's sounding like to you?
He's both talking and having inner monologues.
Ah, I see.
When his lips don't move, you can tell what's the monologue.
Right, I get you.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Well, he's been here a while. The candles
Oh.
signify that.
Sniffing it.
Yeah. Who's going to replace those candles? Because I don't see him with extra candles,
Yeah, that's true.
and they were brand new when he got there. Oh, he's made a right mistake
Sun's
there.
already set.
What? He's been asleep all day.
Well, he didn't sleep last night, right? And he was up all day
Correct.
yesterday. I assume this is the next day, right? So this is day 2 since we've
This is
met.
this is now night 2. Oh,
Just push him slightly.
yeah. Well, as vampires go, they're not great.
No.
I think
Oh, that one's stealing
they
his fucking
vampires or-
stereo. I didn't think vampires were black. Cut 2. Sorry.
Are they vampires or
Or
zombies?
Mexican, I'd like to put that out there.
What? Vampires come under the umbrella of all races and genders and sexualities, in fact.
They are an equal opportunist
Supernatural creature.
supernatural creature. And I've got respect for him for that.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage to come out as a zombie, or a vampire, or any kind of.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not so much the mummy.
Yeah. Otherkin as well.
Otherkin.
Yeah. With their own.
Now, why is he fighting off the other vampires?
The most
You're the
uninteresting.
worst mob of any film I've ever seen.
What was that? That's not. Why did you just fall over?
You're terrible.
You're bad and you should feel bad.
That looks like the dude who hosted fucking Catchphrase. Roy Walker.
I was thinking of the robot. They don't like to see themselves? That's quite interesting.
My hair, I haven't combed it for days, please, no. Fucking Jehovah's Witness.
I'd like to talk about Jesus.
God, these are the worst vampires. Look, there's like a dozen of them, and he just took them all out with very little hassle.
I'm struggling here to find kind of concern for this,
Yeah.
as it seems a water pistol would be well more than required.
It's less like a terrifying tale about a man's fight against vampires, and it is just
A mild
dude
annoyance.
dealing with a slight inconvenience.
Yeah.
People just
Occasionally
his
knocking
house.
at his
Yeah.
door. I suppose this is the closest thing now to VCRs back then, or as the kids might these days realise, Blu-rays. I don't know. What are you up with? iTunes video section, right?
Kids don't watch TV.
Oh,
They just send pictures of each other to themselves all day.
his wife was a bit of a hottie.
Yeah.
Is that just after she'd given birth?
Well, in the 60s, you know, they gave birth easily. It was all clean and powdered and everything
I
as soon as it
see.
came out. Is that Vincent Price when he was younger?
See, I'm confused there because he looked very young right there. Did they get a look-alike, or did they have the foresight to film?
Have you
that
ever
scene?
had a birthday party like that? Where everyone wore big sparkly hats and you're all in the garden and it's sunny and shit?
Nah, that requires 2 friends, at least.
I was at a birthday party once when I was like 9 years old. It was a friend of my mum's. And we were playing Pass the Parcel. And I witnessed the birthday girl and one of her male friends kick off and start swinging punches at each other. Because the person who wasn't the birthday girl held the present at the end of the song.
Legend.
And won it. The girl having the birthday, I think her name was Claire or something. And she just fucking started swinging punches at the kid.
Claire sounds like a right fucking legend.